Hello, this is Jason Robinson from Illustration by Design, and I'm starting another live stream. This one's a continuation of one that I started last week. I'm doing a series of illustrations for a friend of mine who runs and operates a pet crematorium, and he wants to do a series of he wants to do an ad campaign, sort of making not light of his business, but it's sort of a humorous take on this business of cremating pets. So he wanted me to do a series of illustrations for those ads. Last week I did one with a family of cats burying one of their relatives in the backyard, and then the family dog sort of digging up bones in the background. And so it's kind of a little macabre, these illustrations. I mean, they're sort of in the vein of Charles Addams, who created the Addams Family. That's sort of dark humor, sort of like The Far Side, if you can think of that sort of humor with these ads. So I'm going to start a second one today. I'm just going to do rough sketches on the computer, and then I'll refine them and draw them by hand after I light box them. So right now I'm just in the rough sketches stage with these illustrations. So that's just one I'm going to show. Sort of while I babble and talk about some things. Hope you guys are doing well. If you guys are just showing up, please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, and please hit the bell for notifications of future videos. It's been several days since I did a live stream or posted a video. So quite a few things have happened since then. I'm calling this the Ashes to Ashes live stream. Mainly because I'm doing drawings for a pet crematorium, which converts deceased pets to ashes, but also because of what has been happening the last several days with ComicsGate. A lot of you may have heard, some of you may not have, some of you probably don't have a clue what I'm talking about. John Dillard says, I don't care about your crummy life. I want to hear about ComicsGate being dead. That's a question, John Dillard. For those of you who may not know, ComicsGate is a movement which has been happening in the comic book industry probably for the last 2 years or so, where fans and some creators have sort of revolted against the mainstream comic book industry due to an overwhelming amount of left-wing politics that's been shoehorned into comic books, so that comic books have been transformed from escapist entertainment into more or less, in many ways, propaganda for I guess far left ideology, and many of the fans and quite a number of creators have been sort of repulsed by that, and a lot of creators have been blacklisted because they don't share politics that happen to fall in line with a lot of the politics of the higher ups in Marvel, DC, Image, Dark Horse, a lot of the larger comic book companies. So many creators, or at least a number of creators, who have been identified as being conservative or as having voted for the quote-unquote wrong people in elections, have been sort of forced out of the industry. And at the same time, a lot of fans have been turned off by a lot of the left-wing politics that they've been seeing inserted into their favorite comic books over the last decade. And those fans have been looking for an alternative to the sort of left-wing propaganda they've been finding. Hey, Felix Haas, how you doing? Good seeing you. So ComicsGate grew out of that. ComicsGate was basically some of these writers and artists who used to work for mainstream comics, creating their own comic books, creating their own IPs, their own intellectual properties, their own characters, where they could be free to continue doing what they love, writing and drawing comic books, and not have to worry about being fired due to their personal politics. The comic books themselves are not necessarily political. I mean, in fact, most of them aren't. They're just escapist entertainment. But ComicsGate formed out of the desire for these creators to be able to still make a living and not have to worry about being blacklisted and being forced out of an industry they've devoted their life to. And as a result, fans have followed after them and have proceeded to buy those comic books that these creators have made in a number of millions of dollars worth of sales over the past year. I think the first ComicsGate books, I think they're crowdfunded through Indiegogo, which is an online site a lot like Kickstarter. And over the past year or so, I mean, over I don't even know the exact number, well over $1 million worth of sales have happened through online sales. Some of the biggest books were Cyberfrog by Ethan Van Sciver, which has sold close to $1 million in comics for just the first issue, and Earthworm Jim by Dutch Maple, which has sold about $750,000 in sales in just about 2 months. So, but the question is ComicsGate still viable? Is it still functioning? Over the past, I would say, seems to be like 4 or 5 days, a lot of things have been happening that have seemed to have made much of it sort of fall into question whether or not it's still viable. Let's see. Phil Scott says, I'm doing good. And John Dillard says, what does this have to do with me, John Dillard? I don't know. Very little. I blame John Dillard for the possible collapse of ComicsGate. So if it does actually collapse, it's probably John Dillard's fault. But hold on, let me get over here and start sketching while I babble. I think on Friday, Ethan Van Sciver, probably one of the biggest name in ComicsGate, he had to deal with a group of fans known as War Campaign, who are devoted followers of Ethan, but over the past year have been sort of engaging in a lot of online harassment and bullying, which has driven a lot of fans and creators out of ComicsGate. And it all came to a head this past Friday when Ethan finally, after months of fans and creators, his fellow creators, complaining about them and nothing being done, Ethan finally sort of called some sort of council online live stream where he had a lot of people from who were harassed by War Campaign and some of the members of War Campaign on a live stream, and a lot of stuff were a lot of things were said, he tried to hash things out, and it kind of became like a big mess. And over this weekend, they continue to have live streams where they've tried to sort of hash things out, and as a result, War Campaign is apparently persona non grata in ComicsGate anymore. Apparently, Ethan has denounced them. They're no longer welcome on his live streams, and he won't go on their live streams. He said that he will block anyone on Twitter that has the War Campaign logo in their name. A lot of things have been happening, but the main thing is that major creators within ComicsGate have left the movement, or at least have said they've left the movement. Guys like Doug Tenaple, who I mentioned earlier, who's made he's made over $1 million in sales from his books. First Bigfoot Bill, and then if you add to that Earthworm Jim, he left due to war campaigns antics. And I just found out today that Mike S. Miller, who had created Lone Star, has said that he is leaving ComicsGate. Apparently, he's going to go into detail about what his plans are tonight. But yeah, so I guess the question is ComicsGate still viable as a comic book movement? I don't know. I mean, I personally think it is in the sense that ComicsGate isn't an organized thing. I mean, there's no quote unquote leader. There's not even really a real solid set of I mean, the main thing that lets people be ComicsGate or support ComicsGate's ideals is that they're opposed to, I guess, politics being used to force people out of the industry, or I guess I don't know. It's kind of hard to define. I think ComicsGate is about escapism and about focusing on pleasing the customers and not gatekeeping in terms of comic books, producing good work and allowing people just to enjoy the comic books they love and not have to worry about being preached to or talked down to, and when they're just looking for escapist entertainment. And a lot of this stuff is, I don't know, it seems up in the air right now. So I don't think that, I think as long as consumers, the fans, continue to buy and support books that don't insult them, and support creators who don't talk down to them, don't berate them, belittle them for their personal beliefs or whatever personal politics they have. As long as the fans support those books, I think that the spirit of ComicsGate remains alive. I don't know. I mean, personally, I think that the main problem with ComicsGate has been war campaign and its sort of treatment of people they didn't like, people they didn't think were quote unquote pure enough for ComicsGate. So, if in fact war campaign is out of ComicsGate or no longer supported by Ethan Van Sciver and backed by him, I think one of the major problems that's been troubling ComicsGate is I think that a problem solved. So I don't know. I think the next weeks or months or whatever will determine whether or not this actually, this solves the problem. With any new endeavor like ComicsGate or Image Comics back in the '90s, I mean, there's always infighting, there's always bickering among the people involved. I mean, it's like that with any business. I think that the difference with ComicsGate is that with social media, it's all public. I mean, they're all making live streams. They're all on Twitter, and so the ability to not only get into fights, but to have things blown out of proportion because they are in the public eye is exacerbated. So, I mean, if you go into we're getting sort of a bird's eye view into the inner workings of what goes on in any industry, and usually the fans of the buyers are pretty ignorant about so the messy aspects of publishing, about comic creation, about just a lot of this stuff. And so I think a lot of people have been disillusioned to find out that the people that they sort of admire from afar are not, are shown to be human and have just the same sort of foibles, the same ego problems, the same bad judgment in many cases that they themselves have. And I think a lot of people have they're not they're kind of surprised by it. People tend to put comic book creators on pedestals because they love their work, and then when they see them bickering or acting childish or acting in ways that they don't expect, then they that causes fans to sort of run and hide and try to avoid the conflict because they hate seeing mommy and daddy fighting. But this stuff happens in pretty much I would say all industries. So I mean personally I'm kind of grateful to be able to see it because I it's a good I think it's a good opportunity for all of us to learn what mistakes to possibly avoid in the future, or if we're making our own books or doing our own things in relation to comics, to just to sort of understand what we might be in for. So I don't know. I'm hoping that ComicsGate will survive and that all this stuff will sort of blow over with time. There are a lot of good books out there, a lot of good books that still are to be made, and it would be a shame that if this sort of recent kerfuffle or whatever you want to call it destroys a lot of the hard work that these people have put into these books. I think there's a lot of money to be made by these creators. There's a lot of potential creators out there who would love to be able to make their own books and succeed in the industry. And I'm hopeful that the people within ComicsGate will be able to work this out, and people won't feel the need to abandon it just to I don't know. I don't see the purpose in abandoning ComicsGate. If the main problems that they've been complaining about is no longer a functioning part of the movement. So, but those are my thoughts. I don't know. What do you guys think? You guys have any thoughts on whether ComicsGate is dead or not? Anything that the creators, Ethan, even the creators who have left, is there anything that people like Duxton Abel, Ethan, Mike, whatever can do to restore your faith in ComicsGate? I don't know. Let me know. Say something in the chat if you have any thoughts. John Dillard always has thoughts, but I don't know if he's interested in sharing. Sometimes he can be stingy with his thoughts. Let's see. Comic Bob says, "Hola." Let's see. Hey, Comic Bob, how you doing? Good seeing you. Hey, Andrew J. Howdy. Good seeing you. Comic Bob says, "It'll be okay. We'll get through it. I'm more concerned for Tug and his family." Says Comic Bob. Yeah, Tug is that umbrella guy, and that umbrella guy I think is one of the people who was harassed by War Campaign, and I believe it this weekend. Someone smashed his mailbox. He got doxxed by someone. I'm not sure of all the details. And but someone smashed his mailbox this weekend, and yeah, I don't know if War Campaign was involved or if it was someone else. It's just there's a lot of factions, people who hated ComicsGate from the beginning, like Renfamous and her gang, who are people on the far left, and people within ComicsGate, have been harassing people. So it's I don't know. Personally, I don't really follow everything that's going on with ComicsGate, so it's hard to, because it's all broken up between Twitter, between YouTube videos, between Discords, between private direct messages between people. There's so much information, and half of it becomes public. It's very difficult to keep track of it all. Comic Box says Renfamous and Tim Doyle are the main culprits, and Tim Doyle is another, again, far left. They're both nutcases, and they're on Twitter, and they spend a lot of time, most of their time, harassing people on Twitter that they disagree with politically. They have very little to do with the comic book industry itself, but they've appointed themselves sort of arbiters of who is fit to be in the comic book industry, and they've teamed up. Renfamous has teamed up with the former editor-in-chief of Marvel, Jose Quesada. It's just a lot of it's just a lot of sort of behind-the-scenes scumbaggery going around, and yeah, it doesn't make much sense. Comic Bob says it's just something that has to be sorted out. I truly believe the vast majority of people in ComicsGate and ComicsGate adjacent are good people. Just a lot of different personalities clashing. Yeah, that's another thing. I mean, a lot of these guys, they're very there's a lot. You have a lot of alpha males in ComicsGate because they're very gun ho. They're people who are used to working a certain way. I mean, a lot of them have been in the industry for decades. Ethan, Mike, and Doug have been in the comic book industry or animation industry since the 1990s. Same with Art T. Bear. And these guys have a long resume of doing great work and not being pushovers. So when they're in the same group, there's going to be clashing because egos get involved, different opinions, different ideas of what should be done, and it just yeah. Whenever you get a few sort of bull elephants in a room, I mean, they're going to be butting heads, and that's natural. So that comes with any industry, any group of guys, any group of people. I mean, not just guys. I mean, women as well. If you used to be in charge, then that's what happens. Let's see here. Actually, let me pop out the chat so I can read this while I draw. And if you haven't already, please share this live stream out to Twitter and the YouTubes. Yeah, I don't know how many people will have an interest in hearing what I have to say. I'm not super involved with ComicsGate, although I consider myself a supporter of ComicsGate, but I don't have any books or anything. So, let's see. Billnet says, I think Tug and War Campaign get along quite well. They might. I don't know everything that's going on with all these different personalities. I get bits and pieces. Andrew J says, Andrew J says, just want good comics, good people, and good vibes. Yes, I think that's what most of the fans want. Unfortunately, you know, there are a lot of people who think that drama is fun, and causing drama and seeing people's reaction to drama becomes fun. Popeye says, wait, how did Bob get mod? Must get fake mad now. Yes, you're no longer the only mod, Popeye. I'm sorry. Oh, let's see. Bullet says, what are we barbecuing? Bullet, this is the second in a series of ads I'm doing for a friend's pet crematorium business. So this is going to be a cartoon with a bunch of dogs barbecuing. Okay, this is just a rough sketch. I'll refine it once I do this, and I'll print it out, and then I'll lightbox it. Okay, the gag is that, actually I should probably move this over. Select. The gag is that you have a dog here. This is a dog, or it will be once I'm done. See? Nose, mouth, dog face. Okay, that's one dog right there. Okay, and I'm trying to think. Actually, let me get this. Let me remove this so you can actually see some of the other characters. That would make sense. So I will take this guy off, this cover off. Just make it that bad. Okay, so you have one dog barbecuing. There's gonna be another dog here. Okay, and then there's gonna be a bunch of other dogs sort of in the background. Gonna make it. How should I do this? Do this. I want to make it. I guess I should make a table. The other dogs are going to be sitting at the table, eating. Okay. But the other dogs, all the dogs are vegan. They're all eating salads or whatever. I know dogs don't eat well, I'm sure they eat some vegetables. They're meat eaters. Regardless, the other dogs are going to be eating vegetables. This dog is going to be eating steak or something else, and he's going to be wearing a T-shirt with the Pet Crematorium logo on it. Okay, Pet Crematorium logo on it, and this dog here is going to look at this dog and say, "I can't believe you're wearing that." In regards to the T-shirt, and this dog's going to be eating hot dogs, because hot dogs and crematorium, hot dogs. Anyway, that's the lame joke. This dog's eating hot dogs. This dog and these dogs are vegans, vegetarians, and this dog is chastising this dog, saying, "I can't believe you're wearing a Pet Crematorium shirt while you're cooking hot dogs." That's the joke. I know it's a bad one, but Andrew Tate says, "Furry's barbecue." Profire says, "Almost as funny as Bob Face." I don't know what Bob Face is, Profire. So Bob's Face. Who's Bob's Face? Who's Bob? Who's Bob? I don't know who Bob is. Okay, let me scroll up a little, because I'm sure I missed a whole bunch of things. Let's see. Popeye says, "I got mod because I earned it." Yeah, she did earn it. Popeye nagged me until and managed to get 20 people watching my live stream. And once I told her, 20 people watch my live stream, she would get a mod. So she earned that. Right now we have 14 people watching. That's the biggest number I've seen in a long time. So that's awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hey, there's only 6 people giving a thumbs up. Please give this video a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please share this video out to the interwebs and let people know that I am live streaming and sketching and drawing really dumb stuff like dogs eating hot dogs and wearing Pet Crematorium shirts. Hey, Scott Shamir is here. How you doing? Yes. Yes, my Vulcan brother. Let's see. Josh got mod, so I wouldn't have to post links. Yeah, Popefire's lazy. I'm kidding. She's not lazy. Um, Brian, the Observer, says grilling steaks. No, it's gonna be grilling hot dogs. Yes, Joshua Hughes. Yes, he's barbecuing hot dogs. Hashtags. I put hashtags in there, Evan Von Scriber. Look, they're right there. You got ComicsGate, hashtag comics, hashtag the boys. Oh, the boys. I forgot about that. The boys. I don't know if you guys have seen The Boys. The Boys is a new show on Amazon Prime and is based on a comic book. I believe the comic book is produced by Dynamite Entertainment. I'm not sure how old the comic book is. I'd never heard of it until I saw the commercials for this new TV show on Amazon Prime called The Boys. And basically, it's about superheroes, but superheroes are treated in the real world like sports stars are. They're celebrities, and they endorse products, they sell merch, they go to different events and promote things, all things that sports stars do, and they're all organized and funded and run by this central corporation that sort of markets them and pushes them to the public and everything. A big multi-bazillion-dollar industry corporation. The thing is, the twist is, like sports stars and like a lot of sports stars and like a lot of celebrities, these superheroes who are basically an analog of the Justice League, they're scumbags. They're running around doing whatever they want. They're snorting drugs, they're raping people, they're sleeping around, they're doing all the sort of dirty things that the worst people in sports tend to do. Once they get a lot of money, a lot of fame, it goes to their heads, and they run wild. That's the same things that rock stars do, celebrities, whatever. And when they do bad stuff, the corporation covers it up because they're so popular. A lot of their screw ups end up being covered up. The boys, the name of the show is based on, are a group of ordinary guys, not ordinary, but they're a group of normal humans who have been wronged by these superheroes in one way or another. The family members have been killed by them accidentally or on purpose, and the heroes were never punished for it by the law. The boys act as a sort of black ops sort of branch of the CIA, and their job is to quote unquote pull these superheroes into line, which usually means killing them or beating them up. Generally, it means killing them because they're too dangerous to run around, and society won't do anything about it. So the boys handle it, do the job that society won't do, and it's a good show, very good show. The reason I hashtagged it for this video was when I was watching it, and because of all the things that have been happening with ComicsGate over the past several days, it kind of reminded me of the creators within ComicsGate and sort of the disillusionment that a lot of fans have had seeing what's been going on within ComicsGate. Like in the TV show The Boys, people who have put these superheroes on pedestals because of who they are and what they can do end up being disillusioned when they find out that these heroes are so flawed in real life. I'm not comparing them to the comic book creators within ComicsGate. What I'm saying is that comic book creators are just normal people who have a great skill in a particular area. They're not They're not superheroes, even though they draw superheroes. They're not smarter than you. They're not better than you or me. They're they just have a particular skill that they have honed over time, and they use that skill to to create works of art, fantasy, for people to enjoy. I think all of us. I mean, I know I am. I mean, we all have a certain level of idol worship towards people who we admire, whose skill we admire. And I think I'll just it's been disillusioning to a lot of people, sort of getting close enough to people they admire to see the flaws. And I think we should all understand and be understanding of the fact that these people, these guys, these women, who are creating these books, they're not perfect. They will never be perfect. And they will disappoint you in one way or another. Just like everyone else in life will probably end up disappointing you in some way or another. None of us are perfect. So I would just encourage everyone to don't. If someone in ComicsGate does something that upsets you, or sort of makes you think that they're no longer worth following, I I would just ask that you try to I don't know, try to give them some measure of grace. I mean, it's like I said, they're not perfect, and it can be hard to be in the spotlight and trying to fulfill a lot of a lot of people's expectations. I don't know. It's just I don't know. We just need to. I think people just need to sort of slow down and just not overreact to things that may be happening. I think like Combo Bob says, a lot of this stuff will sort itself out. You're going to you're watching the sausage being made right now, and it can be messy, can be ugly. Ultimately, the goal is to have sausage, and I hope that if any of you have been hurt, insulted, sort of treated poorly by these creators in question, that these creators will try to make it up to you. If you haven't, I would try to go to them and see if maybe it can't be resolved. Hopefully it can be, and hopefully everyone in ComicsGate will be spending the next several days, weeks, months trying to patch a lot of these sort of wounds that have been self-inflicted in the movement, and so we can get back to focusing on creating great books, great entertainment for everyone. I think that's what everyone wants. But again, personalities, egos, they can cause conflict. So just we just have to be mindful of that. Let's see. Oh, let me scroll up again. Joshua Hughes says, I earned my mob by subbing with 30+ alt accounts. Evan Von Scar says it's a hashtag simile. People dig the hashtags. A lot of things here. I'm missing a whole bunch of stuff. Joshua Hughes says, everyone will disappoint you except Raven. She will never disappoint you because she is perfect. I don't know. I think Phil Pryor may disagree with that. Okay. I think I got pretty much everything. So I'm going to start drawing. And then if you guys have anything to say, please feel free to say it. And again, I hope you guys are doing well. Hope you guys had a great weekend. It was very relaxing and got a lot of stuff done. Have any of you guys seen that new Quentin Tarantino movie? The what was it? Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I think it's called. I haven't seen it. A friend invited me yesterday, but I was too worn out. So I do want to see that new what was it, Hobbs and Shaw movie that comes out next week. So everyone subscriber says I heard it was terrible. You heard what was terrible? Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? You heard it was terrible? Because I heard it was good. Oh wow. Okay. Huh. Huh. When I saw the trailer, the guy who was playing Bruce Lee, as soon as I saw his imitation of Bruce Lee, I was like, I have to see that movie. Andrew J says, "Nah, I'm waiting for Jane Foster Thor." Yeah, yeah, no, yeah, yeah. That's yeah. Jane Foster Thor is pretty much indicative of everything that is wrong with Marvel films after the death of Stan Lee. I'm firmly of the opinion that with the death of Stan Lee, Marvel Comics and Marvel Studios itself has died. Um, he was he's sort of like Dorian Gray. You know, as long as Stan Lee was still alive, Marvel Comics and Marvel Studios was still viable. Without Stan Lee, dead. Um, Evan Boscar says, "I'm sure it's a matter of taste." Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, especially with Quentin Tarantino. I mean, he can be pretty polarizing. So if you don't like his movies, um, you don't like his movies. I I I I like some of his movies. I mean, I love Pulp Fiction. I thought that was very good. I love Kill Bill and the sequel. I thought those were very good. But I can't. A lot of his films are too violent for me, and I don't like. I don't mind cartoon violence. Like to me, Kill Bill, that was cartoon violence. It is. I thought it was fun. Um, things like trying to remember the ones that I haven't seen. Reservoir Dogs. That is that's a realistic violence I find hard to take. So like when we have scenes like guys like cutting off other people's ears and stuff, I'm like I have to I can't watch that stuff. It's too much for me. Um, Brian the Observer says, "Call me in 5 years when I finally do X-Men right." Yeah, they're not going to do X-Men right. I mean, you're talking about Marvel. Marvel's not going to do X-Men right, especially with this fourth stage of Marvel or what they call it the not stage four. It's phase four of Marvel. Um, just looking at their lineup, I can already tell they're doing everything wrong. First of all, they have Jane Foster Thor, which is garbage. Second of all, they have the Eternals coming up, and they show the cast for the Eternals, and half the cast is either race or gender swapped. Um, None of the characters look like they're supposed to. And then one of the main Eternals, Cersei, isn't even in the lineup. So they really don't seem to care about being faithful to the comic books anymore. And when I think for me, it started with us. again with Spider-Man, be complaining about Spider-Man again. But the MCU Spider-Man is terrible. It's not Spider-Man. It's I don't know what it is. So you know, and then Captain Marvel, that was a garbage film. You know, I think Endgame was probably the last decent Marvel film. I don't know. Brian, the Observer, says more like stage 4 cancer. Yeah, that's what it seems like. I have very little faith in the future Marvel films, and definitely not them bringing the X-Men and doing it right. It's not going to happen. They're not going to put them in costumes, even though they should. I mean, I would. Deadpool should have proven once and for all that you can make a comic accurate costume and it not be corny. I mean, people keep saying it's like, oh, you can't do the costumes from the comics look stupid. It's like, no, it doesn't look stupid because they did with Deadpool and it made how much money? It made a ton of money and it was rated R. I mean, Deadpool alone proved that they can do it. And what are some other movies where they use the accurate movie costumes? Batman, Spider-Man. I mean, all these. I mean, okay, Iron Man, Captain America. All these characters use costumes that are 90% similar to what they wear in the comic books. So obviously, them wearing comic book costumes isn't a problem. It doesn't stop people from watching their movies. In fact, it makes people want to see the movies because when people go to comic book movies, they want to see comic book characters. They don't want to see people who don't look like the characters they're portraying. You don't want to see a Spider-Man who's dressed in fatigues because you know a web suit isn't realistic. That's not the point. People don't want to see realism in a Spider-Man movie. They want to see a guy crawling on walls and wearing a full face mask with webs on it. That's what they want. Andrew J says, "I miss Mary Jane as a hot redhead." Well, you miss Mary Jane, period, because Mary Jane isn't in the new Spider-Man movies. That's the problem. It's like they completely change all the characters to the point where they're not recognizable. Mary Jane is no longer Mary Jane. She's not even in the movie. They have another character called Michelle Jones that they call MJ for no reason, which is stupid. They have Flash Thompson in the movies where he's now a skinny nerd instead of a muscular bully. So he's made useless. What's the point of even having him in a movie? He doesn't do anything. What's the point of that character? So I mean, Aunt May is hot and young, so there's no longer any need for Peter to get a job because she does all the work now, and he doesn't have to work in order to support her. I mean, Marvel has really taken everything that made Spider-Man an interesting and unique character and sucked it right out of him. He's no longer, the smartest kid in school because now he goes to school where everyone's a genius. When everybody's super, no one is. That's the problem with the MCU Spider-Man. They have watered him down to the point where he's no longer Spider-Man. He's just some kid in cosplay. He doesn't even make his own costume. He didn't even make his own cosplay costume. He had to have his sugar daddy Tony Stark make all this stuff for him. This is it's weak. It's weak sauce. So that's my probably 10th rant about the new Spider-Man over the past month. So stay tuned for more. Yeah. I get a drink. I had to drink some water. Andrew J says, The Invisible Man. Hey, that animated one's here. How you doing? Good seeing you. Hope you're doing well. Anything new exciting in your world? That animated one? I saw you have a new video up. 11 seconds long. If you guys haven't already subscribed to that animated one, you should do so. He's the new up and coming YouTube star. The animated one says, "I'm good, thanks. How are you?" I'm doing okay. I'm doing a rough sketch for an ad illustration and ranting about the MCU. So Andrew J says, "Okay, subbed. Cool. That's good." I'm actually really happy, says that animated one, as ZHC commented on my video. ZHC. ZHC. Who is ZHC? Let's see. ZHC. ZHC. Oh, okay. Oh, cool. Wow, how do you find your video? Very cool. That's awesome. ZHC seems to be like this major YouTuber. He has 2.3 million subscribers. That's fantastic. Very cool. Okay, he's an artist. Okay, he draws. Cool. That's nice. Oh, you did a challenge. Oh, cool. Yeah, Compo Bob confirms. Yes, the DHC is a pretty big YouTuber. Oh, awesome. What type of challenge did you do with that animated one? Compo Bob says he's a pretty good kid. His art reminds me of David Finch. Oh, wow. Okay, neat. It must be pretty detailed then. Hmm. I did 2 videos drawing every day until I did 2 videos drawing every day till ZHC replies. I'm not sure I understand. What do you mean? I did 2 videos drawing every day till ZHC replies. Can you elaborate a little more? I'm not sure I understand. Oh, oh. That animated one says, if you look on my channel, it makes sense. So that animated one has put a not so subtle plug for his channel. To find out what exactly he means, you have to go to his channel to find out. It's a mystery. So go to his channel to find out exactly what he means. I can't go right now because I have to continue live streaming. So, but a very subtle, not subtle plug for that animated one's channel. Find out more. You have to go to my channel, that animated one on YouTube. All right, let's see. Dogs. Google. Images of dogs. We got a lot of dogs here. I love dogs. Dogs are like the best. They're awesome. Scott Schmier says it's simple. He did videos every day until ZHC would reply in a comment. Is that about it? But a lot of people do videos every day. how would ZHC find you in the sea of YouTubers who are doing videos every day? That anime one says, basically, I decided I was going to make a series called I Draw. I draw blank every day until they reply. And I did ZHC first, and he replied after the second episode. Okay, so you did a series called I Draw like a certain person every day until they reply, and then so in your case you did I Draw ZHC every day until they reply, and then ZHC eventually saw it and he replied after the second episode. Okay, got it. So you probably hashtagged him or something like blah, 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 blah. Evan Von Scriber keeps nagging me about. Ah, okay, got it. Combo Bob says, do James Rise next. I don't know who James Rise is. Oh, Jaza. Okay, yeah, I've heard of him. Draw with Jaza. Cool. That's neat. Um, Scotchmere says no. James Roz is that comic book artist. Jaza is just Jaza. Okay, there are a lot of artists I can on YouTube. James. Okay, yeah. Comic Box says James Ross is the guy who did that killer Star Wars piece. Yeah, I've seen his stuff. He does a lot of stuff with the MCU, Star Wars, and he had that video. I quit my job to draw, spend 400 hours drawing Star Wars. I remember seeing that one. Hmm. The animated one says, by the way, I may have overtook you slightly. Yeah, the animated one is taking great glee in crushing me in terms of subs. He's when I first met him. This is only a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago. He had 274 subs, and now he's well over 400, I believe, last time I checked. Yeah, he's killing me in terms of subs. So anyone out there, please, if you haven't already, please sub to my channel and help me to catch up not only with the animated one, but with Pope Fire as well, who is also crushing me in subs. So, but they both have really good content. So they've earned every sub they get. So, but if you haven't already, please sub to me. I greatly appreciate it, and hit the bell for notifications for future videos I have. Comic Bob says, yeah, I started following him when he live streamed drawing that. He live streamed the whole thing, took like 10 months. Comic Box says, don't feel bad. I've barely got over 100 subs. Yeah. Scott Schmier says, I have 26 subs. And I'm still overtaking you with comment powers. Yes. Yes. Hmm. Ah, Kashmir says, you don't want to sell me death sticks. You want to go home and rethink your life. I don't understand what that means. Whew. I'm not sure what that means. Star Wars quote. Obi-Wan to the guy in the bar. I don't remember that. Is that the guy whose arm he cut off? I don't remember that part. You don't want to tell me death sticks. You want to go home and rethink your life. Huh, okay. Scott Schmidt says, okay, obviously Jiminy has no Star Wars blood in him. Well, I don't memorize. Oh, it's the Phantom Menace? Okay, Bill, okay. Phantom Menace, I definitely don't remember. I saw Phantom Menace once, and that was one too many times. It was a terrible movie. Yeah, so, yeah, when it comes to the prequels, I have almost zero Star Wars blood in me. I have no love for the sequel, for the prequels, or the sequels really. If it's not the original trilogy, I'm kind of I really don't care. I'm an OG Star Wars fan. It's the original trilogy. That's about it. Um, Attack of the Clones. Ugh. Yeah, I don't care. That anime one says, I was looking at my YouTube stats earlier, and if my thumbnails are actually good, I would get a lot more viewers, as it says how much see your thumbnail and scroll past. I understand the part about the thumbnails being good. They would getting a lot more viewers, as it says how much see your thumbnail and scroll past. My whole time on YouTube is 54K. Could you restate that in another way, the animated one? Because I understood half of it. The last half of your comment, I didn't understand. Scott Schmidt says Star Wars all the way, even the crappy ones. I can't do that anymore. I used to have the attitude that I don't care how bad, like, say, superhero shows are. It's still superhero shows, and I would support them. I've gotten to the point where that attitude just gets you really crappy superhero shows or really crappy Star Wars movies. When I'm much more selective, or really bad comic books. I've gotten to a point that I cannot support crappy stuff. Whether it's crappy comic book movies, crappy comic books, crappy Star Wars movies, because when people support badly made, poorly made, shoddily made stuff, when people support that stuff, all that does is encourage more crappy stuff being made. If you support a crappy Captain Marvel movie and help make it over $1 billion, all you're doing is telling Marvel, make more crappy movies because we're going to watch them regardless. When you buy crappy Marvel comic books with crappy characters in it, or crappy writing and crappy art, if you buy Squirrel Girl with crappy art and you make it a #1 comic book, all you're doing is telling Marvel, give us more crappy comic books that are really badly drawn. Don't support bad stuff. I love comic books. I love Marvel, but I'm not going to pay money for crappy stuff from them. I love DC Comics, but I'm not going to watch crappy Supergirl episodes because they're crappy. I no longer support crap. Life's too short. Scott Schmier says, Evan Moscow says you're talking click-through rate in regards to that animated one's statement about the thumbnails. Scott Schmier says even that horrible Rogue One. Rogue One was awesome. Rogue One was probably the best post original trilogy Star Wars movie that's been made. Easily, easily. It's better than the Force Awakens, and it was much better than the Last Jedi. The Rogue One was the one good post trilogy, OG trilogy Star Wars movie. It was great. Loved it. Scott Schmier says, I'd rather have crappy movies than no movies at all. That's the point, Scott. You don't have to have no movies at all. The options aren't crappy movies or no movies. The option is crappy movies or great movies. And having to choose between the two, I choose great movies. If Hollywood produces crappy movies, don't support them, and Hollywood will stop making crappy movies. That's how it works. If you support garbage, why would the film industry or the comic book industry make something that's not garbage? Because you told them with your money that you're willing to support garbage. So they have no reason to do anything better than garbage. If you want something better than garbage, first you have to refuse to support the garbage and only support stuff that is good. That's how it works. Otherwise, they have no reason to do better. Let's see. That animated one says basically people see my video in a bunch of other vids of other creators, but as my thumbnails don't attract others, they go past them and keep scrolling. It says, oh, okay, you are talking about the click-through rate. It says 54,000 people have seen the thumbnail. Everyone Scarver says I would rather have no movies at all. Yeah, I would too. I would too. I mean, the only movies that, well, I shouldn't say the only movies, because I do love bad movies, but I will no longer blindly support them. I will no longer blindly support bad entertainment because life's too short, and I'm not rich. I can't afford to waste money on garbage. It has to have some level of competence, some level of quality to it. I mean, I used to watch anything if it had a superhero in it. Nowadays, I don't have the time to do it. I mean, the CW has tons of superhero shows on it. The only one I still watch, and there are two. I still watch Arrow, and I still watch The Flash. The other ones, I can't watch. I refuse to watch. It's insulting to my brain to watch it. It's insulting to my intelligence to watch pure garbage like Supergirl, garbage like what was it, the Legends of Tomorrow. I mean, these shows are so bad. I can't watch them. When I was a teenager, I probably would have eaten them up. Now, no, I can't do it. And I've given these shows a chance. I mean, I think I watched the first 2 episodes of Supergirl before it got to be so terrible. It was, to me, it was unwatchable. And I watched the first, I think, 2.5 seasons of Legends of Tomorrow before the same thing happened. I just got sick of it. It was just no. I wanted to. It's garbage. Let's see. Kashmir says, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm missing stuff." That animated one says only 5% clicked on the videos. Yeah. I've been looking at the same thing. The analytics for my videos to find out exactly what's being clicked on and what's not. And it's hard for me to tell. Like with you, that animated one, you do a lot of just pure videos. You don't do live streams that often, or when you do, they're silent live streams. But most of your videos tend to be pre-made. I've done a lot of pre-made videos, but my pre-made videos don't get nearly the views or nearly the likes that my live streams do. And I don't know why. I wish they did, because I think they're I think they're better than my live streams. My live streams are just me rambling and sort of doing goofy sketching and stuff. That's not even like half decent. Um, but my pre-made videos have actual the speed drawings. I mean, they're not long. They're maybe like 3 minutes long at the most. But but the drawings are actually good compared to this stuff. I mean, this stuff is just like it's like I mean, these are half pumped out rough sketches. But I think because these live streams are so long, they tend to be 2-3 hours long. More people tend to watch them over time, and or at least over the time that I'm live streaming. And the amount of time that people watch, it tends to be between 15 and 25 minutes on average. Whereas my pre-made videos, even though they're very short, they're maybe 3 minutes long, people don't watch that long. They only watch for maybe 15 seconds. And so, and when people, in terms of the views, I mean, I'll get views of like maybe 14 views for one of those videos and maybe 8 likes. Whereas with a live stream, I don't get that many. I mean, I get a lot less than you. I probably get like 53 views or something, 50 views, maybe 60. So it's hard for me to, just based on the analytics, I've found that the live streams tend to do better. It has better click-through rates. And yeah, I don't know. It just seems live streams seem to work better for me than actually pre-made videos. Oh, Sharpener says, I'd rather go and enjoy the movie for it being a movie. Well, there are a lot of movies out there, and again, I can't afford to see a movie unless it's good. I can't. I don't have that much money. And as I've gotten older, and I'm not that old, but as time's gone by, I mean, my tolerance for really bad movies and paying for it has dropped. Probably exponentially. The older I get, the less tolerant I am for wasting my money on bad movies. I'm happy to watch bad movies at home for free. If it shows up on Netflix, not Netflix, but like TNT or like NBC or something, I'll watch it. But even then, my time, I don't have a lot of patience for wasting 2 hours watching bad movies. So yeah, it has to be somewhat good. Box says, preach on, preacher. Scott Schmidt says, life's too short to complain about every aspect of a movie. It's not every aspect, it's just a general movie itself. I mean, some movies are just bad, are just poorly done. Captain Marvel, which came out this spring, is just a bad movie. I mean, the acting's terrible. The main actress, I can't remember her name now, Brie Larson, just terrible in that movie. Her acting was just plain bad. The characterization of Nick Fury in that movie was terrible, and it completely conflicted with the way they had him described in The Winter Soldier back in the 90s. When Robert Redford sort of described how he first met Nick Fury back in the 90s, before he lost his eye. He described him as a tough, no nonsense soldier, who was a go-getter, and that's completely at odds with how he was depicted in Captain Marvel as some sort of mealy mouth, cat lover who wastes his time, petting some alien cat. It was just a bad movie. So it's not so much nitpicking. It's just sort of recognizing bad from good and choosing the good and not supporting the bad in my entertainment, I guess. Combo Box says, I do like to support original films though. still, if they suck, they suck. Yeah, I love supporting films, but they have to be good or at least decent. I went to see the Shazam movie, and there were some okay parts to it, but it wasn't as bad as Captain Marvel, but it wasn't, to my mind, it wasn't a good movie. It was a movie that it was a movie made for kids and for kids' parents. It wasn't a comic book movie that, if you're a comic book fan without kids, I don't think it was made for you. If you're a fan of the original Captain Marvel, it wasn't like the original Captain Marvel. It was obviously based on the New 52 version, and I don't like that version. I think that version is poor, like most of the New 52 from DC Comics. I just think that they were poorly conceived versions of classic characters, and Shazam sort of copying it. And the worst part of Shazam was the way they characterized Captain Marvel, the superhero version of Billy Batson. The whole idea is that Billy Batson says Shazam and he turns into Captain Marvel, or they don't even give him a name in the movie. He's, they don't call him Shazam, and they don't call him Captain Marvel. He doesn't have a name, his superhero identity. But the problem is that as Shazam, as Captain Marvel, he is more immature and dumber than he is as Billy Batson, which makes no sense, because the whole idea of Captain Marvel, Shazam, is that he is smarter, stronger, faster, blah, 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 than he is as a kid. His powers are based on the initials in his name. S, he has the wisdom, the intelligence of Solomon. H, he has the strength of Hercules. A, he has the endurance of Achilles, or courage of Achilles. He has the courage of Achilles. Z, he has the power of Zeus. A, he has the stamina of Atlas, and M, he has the speed of Mercury. So two of his powers right there are wisdom, intelligence, and courage. Superhuman courage. In the movie Shazam, he runs like a coward when confronted with someone who has the same power as him, which makes zero sense for the character. He's like running away, almost on his hands and knees, trying to get away from the main villain in the movie. And I was watching, I was just like, what is this? And he's doing really stupid, childish things as Captain Marvel that almost gets people killed. Whether it's showing off for crowds, and then his lightning ends up almost blowing up a bus, or when he's fighting the main villain and he's running away from him, he doesn't run away from the crowd. He chooses to run away into a crowded mall, hoping to use the other people as shields, interference, between him and the main bad guy. And I was just like, this movie is really not really ruining what Captain Marvel is supposed to stand for and look like. It was not a good look for Captain Marvel. It was pretty bad. Let's see. I'm so way behind on all these comments. I'm probably commenting too much on each one. Let's scroll all the way down. Scott Schmear is saying, you're leaving. Okay, Scott Schmear, you take care. Thanks for your comments. I appreciate it. He says, I love Shazam, but I haven't seen a new movie. Check it out, Scott Schmear. If you haven't seen Shazam, when it comes out on video, if you have a chance, watch it. Scott Schmear says, I can't watch it. It's a movie idea, Shazam, not Shazam the Icon. Yeah, yeah, you're right. I agree. I agree. I'm a big fan of the original Captain Marvel. Actually, Captain Marvel Shazam was probably one of my first comic books that I bought when I was a kid. This is the 1970s version. I loved it. I loved it. And I think that's part of the reason why I was disappointed with the movie. Part of it, I guess it's nostalgia. I mean, I was a big fan of the TV show when I was growing up, the live action TV show. But more than that, I just think they got the whole idea of Captain Marvel. I think they got it wrong in the movie because they treated him as a goofy joke and not as a serious character, and I didn't like that. Scott Schmier says he's my favorite DC by far. Yeah, I mean, he's a great character. I wish they would do him justice. He deserves better. Yeah, and I don't want the movie to ruin that. Yeah, then don't watch the movie, Scott. If you, it doesn't completely ruin it, but it definitely does not do the character justice. So if you ever have a chance and you want to check it out, do so. But it's not a great rep. Okay, that's fine. You don't have to, Scott. You don't have to. Let's see. Couple Box says same issue with Spider-Man, Wolverine, Hulk. Every version dilutes the next. Yeah. The trailer almost ruins it. Oh wow. Yeah, that's another thing. They got Savannah completely wrong. I didn't like that at all. They basically took Savannah and made him into Black Adam. So what's the point of having Black Adam in the next Shazam movie? It doesn't make sense. He's gonna have the exact same powers Savannah had in this movie. Scott Schmier says they made it like a version of Kick-Ass. Not sure in what way, but I think you might be right, but I'm trying to think of how exactly it's like Kick-Ass. Scott Schmier says when he becomes Shazam, he isn't Billy anymore. Yeah, exactly. He's a different character. He's not Billy grown up. He's not Billy as a superhero. It's hard to describe because Captain Marvel and Billy Batson refer to each other in the third person. Yeah, in the third person. They're not the same person. They're not the same entity. They're two separate entities that I don't know how to describe it. It's weird. Anyway, yeah, he's not Billy. He's not Billy when he transforms. He's a different character. He's separate entities. Yeah, they are, Scott. Yeah. Compo Bob says the movie version of Kick-Ass was silly. Is where I think that he's saying they're alike. Yeah, but Kick-Ass was still a lot closer to the source material than Shazam was to at least the original comic book. I guess Shazam was a fairly close representation of the New 52 version, which again I didn't like and I don't like. I don't even know if that's New 52 version. Yeah, New 52 version is still valid in the current MC in the current DC comics because all those characters are in what's that new series, the Doomsday Clock. So yeah, New 52 Shazam still exists. I don't like it. So Scott Schmidt says like Firestorms, they're separate entities. Yeah, similar. Yeah. Compa Bob says when he transforms, Billy changes into a different person. That was the impetus for how Lex Luthor brainwashed Billy in Kingdom Come. He made him afraid of Captain Marvel. Yeah, but in Kingdom Come, Billy looks just Billy as an adult looks just like Captain Marvel. I don't know if Billy Batson, that implies that Billy Batson is Captain Marvel. That they're the same person. The fact that Billy Batson grows up to look just like Captain Marvel, I don't know if that's accurate, or or if that was originally supposed to be the idea, that Captain Marvel was supposed to be a grown up, super powered version of Billy Batson, or if they're supposed to be truly two separate entities, which is what I'm inclined to. I've always been inclined to see them as. I never saw. I didn't really see Captain Marvel as a grown up Billy who could fly. I saw him as another character who Billy transformed into. I don't even know if that makes sense coming out of my mouth. So I don't know. I don't know. Billy is in there, but Shazam isn't in control. So, so is he like is Captain Marvel like a is Captain Marvel like a super powered mech that Billy's inside? He's sort of working the controls. I don't know. Shazam is like a cosmic power that anyone can use, like a Gaia. I'm not sure what a Gaia is. So, Comic Box says Captain Marvel, Shazam is literally the smartest mortal human if he wants to be. He has all human knowledge. Yeah. So. Yep. All right. Comic Box says, I think Captain Marvel is supposed to look like an adult Billy if Billy were built like that. Like, what if what he turns into physically is what Billy would look like if he were quote unquote perfect. Okay, I can buy that. I can go with that. He's like a idealized version of Billy. I can roll with that. I never understood though how come Captain Marvel Jr. and Mary Marvel didn't also age similarly to Captain Marvel? Maybe because they were second hand versions. They were Billy Batson was powered directly by Shazam the Wizard, and the others got the powers secondhand through Billy. So they became idealized versions of themselves at their age, but they didn't become adult versions. Kashmir says, so the rest, same goes for Mary Marvel and the rest of the family. They were granted the use of the power. Yeah. I think originally they didn't they get half the power? They ended up splitting the power. I can't remember. It's been a while. I haven't really looked into it. It's been a while since I've really jumped into it. Compa Bobby. Yeah, the original version of the Marvel family. They were granted the use of power through Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel gave them the power. Shazam didn't. So Shazam the Wizard rather didn't give them the power. Captain Marvel did. He shared his power with them. Once to save Captain Marvel Jr.'s life when he was injured by Captain Nazi, and then Mary ended up getting the power. Well, she discovered that she had the power because she was Billy's twin sister. So I'm trying to figure out how to depict him holding a hot dog. Combo says originally, whenever Billy shared the power, he was reduced by like 25%. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, I couldn't remember if that still held or if that was just if that was temporary and they just later on forgot about that whole aspect or not. They probably just forgot about it. I mean, it's an interesting idea, but the powers decrease as he distributes it. Yes, Scott Schmier. Yeah. Dark Knight Returns says, "Hey, how you doing? Dark Knight Returns. Good seeing you, Nighthawk Warrior. Yeah, I'm working on a sketch for an ad illustration for a pet crematorium for a friend of mine. So my friend runs a crematorium for pets, and he needed some illustrations to go with it. So that's what I'm working on. But it's difficult for me to draw and talk at the same time, so I am doing more talking than drawing." Kashmir says that's how Adam could destroy them all. Yeah, unless they teamed up against him. Yeah, probably. He has ultimate power, says Kashmir. Black Adam has ultimate power. Nighthawk Warrior says, I uploaded a new video today on my channel. Make sure to go check it out. Yeah, everybody check out Dark Knight Returns Nighthawk Warrior's channel. See what he has to offer. And if you haven't already, please like this video. Please give this live stream a thumbs up, and please subscribe to my channel. Let people know, you know, that you guys are watching it. If you would, please share this video out to Twitter and other social media. And if you haven't already, please hit the bell for notifications for next time I do a live stream. Dark Knight Returns Nighthawk Warrior says, I'm trying to reach 500 subs. I'm currently at 240 subs. Cool. Yeah, I'm trying to reach 500 subs too. How many do I have? I'm not sure. Let me check. I have 336 subs. So, yeah, if you would, if you haven't already, please sub to me and to Nighthawk. We could both use the subs. I'm trying to, I know that it's very hard to, trying to figure out how to depict this guy holding a hot dog, but I'm looking at my own hand. It does not seem to be. All right. Let me try this. Here. All right, I think I got it. Frustrating. Combo Bob says, sub party, everybody sub to everyone. Yeah, everybody sub to everyone. Subs all around. You get a sub, you get a sub, you get a sub. Kashmir says, yes, sub to everyone. Dude, your journey to the dark side will be complete once you sub to my YouTube channel. Let's see. Nighthawk Warrior says, I'm going to do an art giveaway when I reach 500 subs. Cool. Awesome. art giveaway. So make sure to sub to him. Scott Schmier says, initiate order sub T6. What is sub T6? Scott, I'm not sure I understand. Sub TU6? Is that what it means? I don't know. Star Wars reference again. What is sub TYX sub TY6 mean? Compa Bob. Oh, 66. Oh, order 66. Okay. So, oh, the YouTube Emperor's version of order 66. Oh, initiate order 66. Ooh, I'm afraid the defense shields will be quite operational when your friends arrive. Yes, that's how a joke dies. It's thunderous confusion. Yes, it's both very easy when you're dealing with me. I'm often thunderously confused, especially when it comes to Star Wars. I know some Star Wars, but I'm a Star Wars fan, but I'm a normie, some Star Wars fan. I'm not an in-depth Star Wars fan. I'm more of a Trekkie than a Star Wars fan, because I love Star Trek. I saw all the shows and stuff, but Star Wars. I mean, I see them in the movie theaters and I love them, but I wasn't someone who would go to theaters and see them like 10 times or something. I go once, and then it's like, oh, cool, that was a good movie. Scott Schmier says, you're a pseudo fan. You're not a real fan. You're a pseudo fan. Picard. Yeah, I know. I'm looking forward to that new series. I'm not sure when it comes out though. I think they're still working on it. But yeah, I hope it's good. But I don't know. I'm hoping it doesn't come off as cheesy or just sort of dopey. Looking forward to it. Couple Boss says, just finished up my tug video, finishing up my Skunk Girl and Battle Maiden pieces. All good. I'm more of a Trek guy myself. Yeah, I think with Star Trek, for me, it was easier to be a Star Trek fan because Star Trek was always on TV. Whether it was the original episodes or the Next Generation or Deep Space Nine or Voyager. I mean, there was a lot of Star Trek content in the late 80s and 90s, all through the early 2000s. I mean, then you had like Enterprise. I mean, there was just tons of Star Trek content on regular TV for you to watch. So it was very easy for me to be a Star Trek fan. Star Wars. I mean, once the original trilogy ended in what was it, 83? Is that when Return of the Jedi came out? Once that ended, I mean, it was like you had a desert period of 20 years before another Star Wars movie came out. So it wasn't that much reason for me to really get into Star Wars. It's just like that was it was a great trilogy, but it wasn't something that was sort of in my face, every week on TV, growing up. So, yeah, Nighthawk Warrior says, I like Star Trek and Star Wars both equally. That's cool. I mean, they're both great series. Although, again, I think the prequels and the sequels to the original trilogy have, I think they've hurt Star Wars's pedigree. I don't think it's really done much for it, done it any favors. Scott Schmidt says, if I didn't love Star Trek, I would do this all. I would do this all the time. Deep Space Nine is superior to all Star Trek. I don't know if I go that far. After the original series, I still think what was it? The Next Generation was the best series. I just think it was, especially after the first season. The first season of the Next Generation was kind of weak, but after that, I think it just got really strong. Even today, it's like I watch reruns of it, and some of those episodes are so good. It's just really impressive to me. Kashmir says, if you can't find a reason to watch Star Trek, Q is all you need. Yeah, it's true. Yeah. I mean, yeah, they had some great episodes on that. Or Spock, yeah. Yeah. Star Wars Episode 1 was in 1999. Or Data. Yeah, Data was cool too. Kashmir says, I think we're going to get a Q appearance in the Picard series. That would be interesting. The only thing I wish, and I don't know if they can do this or not, I wish they would do like a cool, like de-aging of Q, so he looks exactly the same as he did back in like '87 when the first episode showed up. I mean, I'm not really interested in seeing the actor who played Q, showing up at the age of like 75. It's like it sort of takes away from him being like an immortal entity when you show him as an old guy as well. I mean, I would want him to look the same way he did when he first appeared, like some guy in his 40s. So, Comic Bob says Next Generation really got good in season 3. Yeah, it was good. Gosh, yeah, Farpoint was iconic. It was great episode, great opening episode. I think wasn't that the episode where hey Tiana DIY, how you doing? Good seeing you. Yeah, John Delaney, thank you. Evan Subscriber, that's his name. Who played Q. Scott Schmier, wasn't Farpoint the episode where DeForest Kelly showed up as like the really old McCoy? I think it was. Delancey. Okay, John Delancey. Yeah, yeah. DeForest. Something happened because the chat just disconnected, and I'm assuming that means that my yep, okay, my internet's going bazzy. So hold on. All right, I'm hoping you guys can hear me, or you're going to be hearing me soon. Give me a second. My internet hiccups a lot, so if you would just be patient for a few seconds. It'll go back online shortly, and hopefully. Okay, can you guys hear me? You still there? Can you hear me? I'm assuming you can, because my internet has been yeah, hiccups at least once during these live streams. I don't know why. It goes a little weird sometimes. So hopefully you guys can still hear me. And let me get back on here. Click here, share there. Boom, bang, bada boom, bada bing. Whatever. There you go. Okay, cool. Anyway, we're talking about how Star Trek is 500 times better than Star Wars, and Scott Schmier was agreeing about how superior Star Trek is to Star Wars. Right, Scott Schmier? Let's make sure this is still running. It's going to show up on my on the stream. We'll see. We'll see in a few seconds. We shall see live. Oh, it is showing up. Yeah, we're back online. Awesome. Yeah. Cool. Hopefully none of you have left, but if you have, you're not hearing me right now. Let me see. Close that. Restore chat. There we go. Okay. Bye, everyone, says Nighthawk Warrior. Okay, well, Nighthawk, good seeing you. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for hanging out. And, yeah, sharing your thoughts with us. We appreciate it. CBB, that was the staple of Deep Space Nine, says Evan Von Scriber. CBB. What's CBB? Tombow Bob says, Tom Holland's Spider-Man is totes magoats. I don't know what that means. Yeah, Nighthawk, you take care. Oh, Tombow Bob. Okay, thank you. Oh, okay. Okay, he's referring to Tombow Bob saying the best part of the Dominion War was the Klingons finally going Klingon. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, there's so much good stuff with those shows. Yeah, I just really like watching them in reruns because you forget. I mean, it's been 20 years since these shows have been out. So yeah, and so I forget anyway how good a lot of these episodes were. Oh, okay. So while the stream was down, Evan Von Scriber said, since Jimmy is gone, he totally can't hear us. We totally can't hear him. Let's talk about how great Tom Holland Spider-Man is. Okay, got it. Understand. Got it. Yeah, no, Scott Schmier, Worf was great in Deep Space Nine. He was cool. He was cool. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of great stuff. So. He was too human in the Next Generation. Well, yeah, Tombow Bob. Yeah, I know you were trolling me. It's fine. Yeah, I guess he was in a sense. I mean, I did like the episodes with whenever he and Picard were dealing with the Klingon Empire and the High Council. Those are my favorite Worf episodes on the Next Generation. I love that one character, Gowron, the guy with the really big eyes, the Klingon with the huge eyes. He would stare at you. I love that character. I thought it was very interesting. Yeah, Worf's wife was great too, although she died pretty quickly. But yeah, that's some great episodes in that show. Compa says he got more Klingon towards the end though. Yeah. Dashmere says that right there showed Picard's gib. His gib? What do you mean his gib? GIB. I don't understand. Oh, the cut of his jib. Okay, gotcha. Show yeah, I got you. The cut of Picard's jib, his character, his what he had, what they had, what it takes, his his moxie, his how can I put it? His guts. Spelling and me ain't friends or aren't friends, says Scott Schmear. Yeah. Always putting words in my mouth. Eh, eh, not too many. I try not to put too many words in your mouth. Only when it's funny. uh, my spell should get a trial separation. Your spell check, yeah. It's always funny when people, use their phones to like go on Facebook and stuff, and the spell checker or whatever, the word predictor, I don't know, whatever it is, and always misspells words. I find that funny for some reason. Samba Bob says, I love that episode Deep Space Nine where with Core when he died, one ship against 10. It doesn't seem possible. He will succeed. He is Core, the Dahar master. And now I don't remember who Core is, I'm afraid. So you'll have to remind me. Combo Bob says, I hate spell check. Yeah, me too. I don't like it. I mean, spell check is fine when I'm like writing something like a paper or something, but in terms of the when I'm writing something in real time and it's correcting what it thinks I misspelled, I don't like that. So let me perform the spell check after I've written something to see whether or not to check myself to see whether I spell anything wrong. But I don't like it when the computer is sort of monitoring what I'm writing as I'm writing it and then trying to correct it as I'm writing it because it doesn't know whether or not I meant to do it or not. Core is one of the original Klingons from original Star Trek. The original actors who play Kang, Core, and Korg all returned to Deep Space Nine. Okay, I don't remember that. I'd have to watch the episode again. Funny thing is, Garrick was my favorite character. Yeah, I love Garrick. Great character, Scott. Tiana is still here, just watching TV. You know who I liked? I liked Andrew Robinson. Is that his name? I don't know if I remember his name correctly. Is it Andrew Robinson? No, it's not Andrew Robinson. It's what is his name? He played a bunch of different characters on Star Trek. And he also played the Question on Justice League. He did the voice of the Question on Justice League. the animated series. Question. Character. Who did the voice? Oh my gosh, voice actor. Jeffrey Combs. Thank you, Comic Book Bob. Jeffrey Combs. I love Jeffrey Combs in the Star Trek shows, because he was on Deep Space Nine. He was on the Next Generation. He played different characters at different times. But he's a really, really good actor. I love that guy. I love his voice. His voice is really very distinctive, and I just really, really enjoyed hearing his voice. Whenever I heard his voice, it was just like, I don't know. It was just like, I like this guy. I like this guy's voice. I like his acting. I thought he played really cool characters. So Jeffrey Combs, thank you. Kashmir says my wife met all of them when she worked at Star Trek The Tour. Oh wow, as the bridge commander. Oh, very cool. Now where was that? Is that like Universal Studios or something? Comic Box says his portrayal of Herbert West in Reanimate. That's what he was in. Reanimator. Yeah, yeah. In Long Beach. Okay, cool. That's great. uh, Scotch, Scotch says it's where they kept the spruce goose. Okay, cool. And then he says, I met Picardo, Neelix, and Chekhov. Robert Picardo is the guy who played the doctor on, or the was it emergency doctor for not Deep Space Nine, but for Voyager. Neelix was, yeah, I know who you meant, Scotchmere. Neelix was I hated Neelix. Every episode on Voyager, I was always hoping that Neelix would like get blown out of an airlock or die a horrible death. I hated that character. He was so annoying. But Neelix and Chekhov. I forget Chekhov's name. What's his real name? Terrible. I completely forgot his name. Is he still alive? I think he is. The guy who played Chekhov in the original series. Walter Koenig. Koenig. Yeah, Walter Koenig. Koenig? Koenig. Yeah. I think the last thing I saw Walter Koenig in. Last thing I saw him in was probably Babylon 5. I haven't seen him in anything in years. But I did like him in Babylon 5. I thought he was I thought he did a good job. So hey, Scott Schmears agrees. Ah, awesome. Yay. Yeah, no, I thought he did very well in Babylon 5. I like that show. There's some really good sci-fi TV shows out in the '90s. Yeah. Walter Koenig as Bester was great. This is Compa Bob. Ivania, Ivan, Ivan, what the? Ivana Oh, Ivanova could park her shoes under my from D Space, not D, from Babylon 5. Ivanova, yeah. Now, should I? I'm sketching this right now. Should I have these dogs dressed as like hipsters or as like prep, like sort of snobby? Because they're like vegetarians. So I'm trying to right now. I'm like drawing like one of those like sort of snobby sweaters on this dog. Um, and my wife can't scoot. Uh, can scoot over. Hmm, no comment. I'll let your wife deal with you, Scott. Just for 5 minutes. I'm not sure if you can handle Ivanova, Scott. I have a feeling she might break some of your bones. She's kind of tough. Kind of scares me. Jerry knows about my list. Cool. I think the only person on my list with my wife is Enya. Oh, 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 excuse me. How time is it? It's 7:30. Hmm. I won't even. Linda Carter. Ah, yeah, Linda Carter. Well, Linda Carter from 1978, maybe. Linda Carter's still hot. I can't say that. She's still very hot. Let's see. Well, it's 7:30 right now, and I've been drawing or battling rather, and not really drawing that much for about about an hour and a half. So I'm gonna stop right now. Okay, I'll try to finish the sketch off screen. Hopefully get some more of it done. Be a little more productive than I am right now. But anyway, just wanted to get started at least, and I guess talk a little about ComicsGate and where it's going from here. Like Comic Bob said, I think what we're seeing right now are the sort of natural hiccups, and maybe a little more than hiccups, um, natural wrenching of any new or relatively new movement. You got factions, you got people bickering back and forth, you got people leaving in disgust. Um, but I think that stuff is to be expected from any human endeavor. Um, these things, I think, will work themselves out as long as um, the fans and I would say, a core number of members who are actively involved in it are willing to keep it alive. Um, for me, myself, I'm more than happy to support ComicsGate, keep it going, continue to support all the, not all of them, but a fair number of the creators as I'm able to. If the books are good and appealing to me. But I'm also more than willing to support books that aren't ComicsGate if they're good and if they're well written. If someone leaves ComicsGate, I'll still support them if the book is good. I love Duck Naples' Bigfoot Bill. and I will support Earthworm Jim, because he puts out great stuff. I mean, if you got Bigfoot Bill, it was a quality book. So you know, I'm not someone who is dogmatic about, you know, belonging to ComicsGate. If you put out good books, whether or not you are quote unquote officially ComicsGate, if you're ComicsGate adjacent, or if you're not ComicsGate at all, if you put out good good work, great content, good books, and you're respectful to the fans and treat them with respect, and don't demean them or denigrate them, there's a pretty good chance I'll support your work. So you know, I would encourage everyone out there to do the same. Support great work by great people who treat the customers with respect. And you know, if you do that, to my mind, that is the core philosophy of ComicsGate: quality over petty nonsense that's nothing to do with comics. So, you know, regardless of politics, regardless of any of that stuff, you know, we should be supporting the, you know, supporting the creation of great books. You know, so I would say keep doing that, and ComicsGate will continue to stay alive. So that's my thoughts. Anyway, hope you guys have a great day. Let's see. Scott Schmier is giving the Vulcan thumbs up, and says I'm here for art, not politics. Well said, Scott Schmier. Same here. I just want good art. So, I hope you guys have a great day. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon. But make sure you hit that bell for notifications and subscribe to me for next time I'm online. But I will be around the interwebs. You probably see me on YouTube talking in the chats, making trouble. So hey, that animated one's still here. Hey, glad you stuck around. Anyway, hope you have a good day too at that animated one. Keep making great videos, and hopefully I will catch up to you and you know, knock you aside as I pass you by in subs. So, but we'll see. Anyway, you guys take care, and I will talk to you later if I can figure out how to. Oh yeah. Also, Hangouts is ending on Thursday, August 1st. So I don't know what I'm gonna do after August 1st, because Hangouts will be no longer working. But we'll see. We'll figure something out. I gotta look into it some more. Yeah, you have a great night too, that animated one, and everyone else as well. Take care. Talk to you later.